Hello, and welcome to TCN's CloudCast, where we explore the latest trends and innovations in the contact center industry. Today, we're thrilled to have Dave Beathers, Senior VP of Revenue Enhancement and Product at TCN, here to help us learn how to save money one agent at a time. Let's see where contact centers are wasting time and ultimately money. Welcome to CloudCast, Dave. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great, Spencer. Thanks for having me on.
I'm so glad to have you here. I've been wanting to have you on for a little while, and I look forward to hearing what insights you have for us today. And I wanted to start off by talking about a recent white paper written by TCN titled Saving You Money One Agent at a Time.
Sure.
In this white paper, it mentions inefficiencies within contact centers. And could you elaborate on what this means for a contact center's bottom line and what the subtle inefficiencies are that are often overlooked?
Sure. I think the starting point really becomes understanding what a contact center's most valuable resource is. Obviously, that is people, human capital, the people that are working in the contact centers doing the work. And anytime you have a lot of people doing a lot of work, little things matter.
Right, yes, absolutely.
So that's the essence of not only this white paper, but a real core driver, I would say, of TCN is being able to allow and empower our clients to, I would say, have the ability and the visibility to not only understand and see what's happening, but to impact that and to influence that in a way that improves the bottom line.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean, the idea behind this, like you said, is to find those inefficiencies and find the little things that are being missed. And obviously, we hope that those aren't intentional things that are being missed, right? They're little things. I mean, human error happens all the time. I mean, computers make errors, humans make errors. So we really want to catch those inefficiencies. And the document that we were talking about, it provides a specific example of an agent wasting 180 seconds between calls, right? That doesn't seem like a lot when you say 189 seconds, but this leads to significant waste of time and money in the long run if that happens between every single call and you're making millions of calls a day. So how does TCN's operator platform address this issue, and what are some of the tools it uses to optimize agents' efficiency?
Yeah, let's take it a step further. I think the difficult part of where contact centers have been for the last so many years is, especially since COVID, is being able to have an understanding of what their employees are doing.
Right.
So it used to be that all the managers, the floor managers, would be with their colleagues on the floor, and they could get an immediate sense if somebody was at least absent, or showing up to work late, or if they were taking extended breaks and things of that nature during the day. You could see that visually.
Absolutely. Yeah.
With the blending of remote and in-presence agents, that's been more difficult. But even a step further, even if you did have all your representatives, your agents, sitting in the floor and watching them, sometimes everybody looks busy.
Right.
They're doing busy work. You hear them on the phones. They're talking, or they're doing post-call documentation. They're doing all this work. And so a manager just has a sense that there may be something off, or they can see that production is not as good this month than last month.
Right, yeah.
But everybody's staying busy. So how do you tell the difference between busy work and really effective work? And that goes to where TCN has been for a long time, is being able to give tools to help understand not only what the call center world calls occupancy, is the individual occupied? Are they in their seat?
Yes, yeah.
But are they being efficient? Are they being utilized in the proper manner? So a lot of the tools that we offer with business intelligence, with workforce management, with workforce optimization, points to that of this underlying goal, which is, Lord Kelvin, I guess, said it best. That which can't be measured can't be improved.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you have to be able to not only see it, but you have to be able to measure it somehow, and then you can have a benchmark for improving whatever it is you're after. So TCN focuses on giving tools that allow for visibility, a high degree of transparency, and then also to allow for tracking consistency, or another way of thinking about that is accountability.
Yeah.
So individual accountability at the agent level, at the consumer, at the call level, especially to understand what happened on a particular call, and is that generalized to repeat over time. You mentioned the study, the white paper talks about just 180 seconds. What if an agent is just a little, maybe, I don't know, they just need to reset. And some calls are tough, right? You have some different exchanges perhaps where a client is not satisfied or a customer is not satisfied, and an agent might need to reset. And that's fine and expected. The challenge is what behaviors are happening repeatedly and are not what behaviors are not uncommon. Okay. And so how do we identify behaviors that are maybe undesirable or less effective, mm-hmm. and how do we reduce those from happening over time? And so TCN can really help with that, because we know a lot of things with our tools. When call centers or contact centers use our tools appropriately, we know exactly what state an agent is in the entire time that they're logged into our system.
Okay.
So not only do we know when they're having a conversation with a particular consumer, we can know what the outcome of that conversation was. We can know that two ways. We can know that by how the agent or representative coded the call, and did they code it as a successful conversation, or was there some kind of a concern that needed to be documented with that, what we call agent responses. So we can know exactly what happened on a conversation by way of the agent. But then we also need the additional tool to know what happened on the call by way of the conversation itself. Yeah. So we have workforce optimization. We use AI to transcribe the calls, transcribe not only the calls, but we also look at transcriptions from SMS exchanges or conversations or chat exchanges on the web. And so these transcriptions, these call or conversational transcriptions, are reviewed with our filters or our flags to kind of raise the flag, raise the hand if there's a concern or an issue. Yeah. So we have multiple tools in the arsenal to identify if there's behavior that is putting the contact center either at risk by things that are said that shouldn't be said, or things that are not said that should be said. So disclaimers or guidance, or maybe vocabulary, certain words that are threatening or such from the consumer or from the representative. So protecting both sides. Things that need to be reviewed immediately, as soon as possible, and corrected as soon as possible. Those are all high pressing, high priority items that need attention. And so we offer tools that allow for every single conversation to be monitored. 100% of the conversations can be monitored to help reduce risk, to protect brands, to protect the good name of the brand, yeah, and also to protect consumers as well. So those tools are very, very important, number one, and can shut a business down really quickly if that is not a priority for the customer or for the contact center. Yeah, absolutely. Number one, but number two, then how do we move into the next category of goals, which is, hey, let's make sure we're doing the right things and the legal things.
Mm-hmm.
And then how do we move into, how do we be more profitable? How do we make that more efficient and really get into an area where it's getting the maximum amount of ROI out of our resources? And I don't mean that to sound so impersonal as to say we're going to, squeeze blood out of a turnip. But when we're talking about hundreds or thousands of agents in these contact centers, as you said, 100, if most of the agents are taking 20 seconds to wrap up a call and get on to the next call, and you have an average for that contact center, which shows up in most contact centers' metrics, will show up, hey, we're wrapping up calls in 30 seconds. You also have to look deeper and look to see if that's the true average. Well, what are my outliers? Who's spending considerable amount of time beyond that?
Yeah.
And what we found when we've spoken and worked with our call centers, our contact centers, we've helped them identify if there's a problem where, hey, maybe they have 15, 20 agents that are spending 3 times, 4 times that amount of time in wrap up. And so effectively they're taking a break after every single call, even 5-minute breaks or 10-minute breaks after every single call, thinking that it's not harming anybody.
Right.
But as it adds up, as you multiply, 20 seconds, 40 seconds, as you multiply 5 minutes over, hundreds of agents, it definitely costs the contact center money.
Yeah.
In 2 ways. One, obviously, you're paying an agent to do nothing.
Right.
To sit there and do nothing. I want to focus too on the idea of the agent or representative. Not only does it harm the company itself if the agents are not effective or efficient,
Right.
but it harms those agents and representatives that are not able to make as much money as they want to make.
Right.
They're not satisfied.
Yeah.
They usually have higher turnover. And so it's not just about the company and the company's bottom line, but it is about the quality of life and the experience of the culture, as you would, of the contact center.
Yeah, no,
and so
that's a great thing to point out, because even when I read this, I read about, if 100 agent call center, how they could potentially lose, like $380,000 annually, right? I just immediately thought of the call center, right? The call center, losing money, the company's losing money. I didn't think about, the personal downsides.
Well, it's a snowball effect, right? Like, it's a snowball effect that most people don't think of. You see 1 or 2 agents that are goofing off or having trouble, but really, what does that do to the culture, in the brand, in the self-respect of the team, and what everybody's after? And when somebody sees somebody messing around or taking breaks, and they don't get to take breaks,
you see it in every job.
It hurts the team, but also those individuals that are slacking off. They're not going to be satisfied.
Right.
So we've got tools that help identify where that time's being spent, and it's very quick. It's visual. There's visual timelines that help look for patterns of behavior that's acceptable, or behavior that are the exceptions, and that they want to see, is that a repeating pattern, or is that something, and if it is a repeating pattern, is it appropriate or not, and do we need to take action on this? But
So from everything that you've said, I mean, it seems that a lot of what TCN is helping provide contact centers is more, insight and visibility into the minute details of what the agents are doing, what is happening on the call floor, and overall just increasing accountability.
Yep. And with that, if I could add, so a lot of that focus is on immediate agent performance as it stands. Is the agent in the seat? Are they occupied doing the right thing?
Right.
But let's take that a step further and look at other metrics. Occupancy, beyond occupancy, utilization rates, conversion ratios or what constitutes success. And so you think of that agent that may be taking 3 or 4 times longer than their colleague and sneaking in some breaks sometimes.
Yeah.
But what are they not doing at that time? And most contact centers have a good understanding of what each agent is ideally trying to produce per hour. So when you get back to the bottom line and see that not only is that contact center losing money for them taking a break when they shouldn't, but if you think of the opportunity cost, where if you take one of the general rules of thumb out there that many agencies produce maybe $72 per hour that an agent is on the phones doing their work. Well, then you're talking about opportunity cost. So when an agent racks up, 30, 40 hours over time where they're not being efficient or productive,
Yeah.
you times that by 70 hours, $72 an hour or so forth.
Mm-hmm.
It's real money.
Yeah, absolutely. So from everything that you're saying, Dave, could we say that some of the common mistakes that contact centers are making is just that lack of visibility, lack of looking at that opportunity cost that they're losing out on?
I think you're pointing to a great concept that kind of needs to be understood, which is there is a structure or a hierarchy or a process that contact centers go through. If you think about it, most people in any profession, they have times when they're busy, but are they productive? Right? And so the same thing applies. I think some of I guess you could call them mistakes, or some of the oversights are a lot of people are just trying to stay busy. Or they get handed busy work to do, or especially in contact centers, the next phone call is coming, right?
Yeah.
So how do they keep, and especially the manager's role of trying to deal with individuals that are absent and that haven't, that didn't call ahead, and they just show up and they're handed a whole contact center, and 5 or 10 or 20 people are not where they should be at the right time, at the right place. And so I think there's different areas of efficiency lifts that could come. And so you really do have to talk about it in different categories. And what we've seen is it's very helpful to schedule or to talk with subject matter experts that understand a core part of the business. So what I mean by that is you take workforce management. Do you have the right people in the right seats at the right time to handle the workload that you're expecting or predicting?
Yeah.
And so that's workforce management, and to understand how much time is being spent either reacting instead of working a plan. Mm-hmm. So Heather Jones, that's with our team, she is excellent to talk to about developing plans, looking historically on the numbers, seeing what your contact center has done and what it's been doing and what it's planning on doing, to be able to effectively schedule and carry out and adhere to a plan, so that your team members are on call.
Yeah.
They're on call. They're not off call. They're not doing things that are not approved or not appropriate or not expected. Yeah. And so the more you can plan with workforce management, that's just a huge portion that saves so much problems down the road that we see. A lot of people are just reacting because they're really not effectively talking or planning with workforce management tools. The other item is, looking at workforce optimization. So just that I see that recording calls is a pretty standard thing to do now.
Right.
And what do they always say, for call quality or management or training purposes is the disclaimer that seems to come through. But ensuring that your organization is really taking advantage of that. Are you studying that vast database of call recordings that you have?
Right.
Or is that just to check the box and say, yeah, we record calls?
Yeah, I think oftentimes it's a check the box. I think a lot of these precautions or these steps that people do take but don't
Yep.
take advantage of
Yep.
are just to check the box. And part of that kind of stems from, I think, compliance, and part of that just stems from, doing what they know they need to do,
Yep.
and not understanding how to best utilize it for their benefit.
Well, and yes, and to help our customers understand that those tools are tools in the toolbox. They can just turn them on.
Yeah.
They don't have to. They're already integrated into the system. They can just turn them on, and they can have tracking mechanisms to help understand, how many calls are ending in a negative sentiment by the consumer. Yeah. And I want to see that by each of my representatives to help identify which agents need a little extra coaching,
Right.
to help have a better environment and have better productivity. And then finally, just one of the things that this is kind of underscored with business intelligence, just being able to see, to explore hypotheses of what's happening in a contact center. Most of our employees, most of our team, are subject matter experts on TCN's products and capabilities.
Yeah.
And we know a fair amount of contact centers because we're always talking to contact centers. We're hearing best practices from all the contact centers, and we try to share that with our customers.
Right.
But in the end, it's our customers. They themselves are the experts of their contact center. They know their business, they know their people, they know their goals and what's going on. But to be able to pair the two, our staff and the contact center staff together, to be able to investigate, hey, how many of your agents are doing wrap up and under your goal, your target goal, or what are your goals that we can identify, your benchmarks that we need to look at and compare you against, not only internally of your peers, of the agents against themselves and see how the teams are doing, but externally against other contact centers too.
Right.
Are you on par? Or are there some areas where you could take some strategic initiatives and really make a difference in your business?
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, and talking about your team members and the account managers. I was going to ask you about how having the account managers as part of your strategic approach for helping your clients would benefit them or help them to identify these profit leaks. And I think that what you said was a great point, that your team members are experts and they talk to many different call centers and they see all the different problems that arise, because that's why they're there, right? They're there to help and support them.
Yep.
And so I think that it's really important to be able to take advantage of a key knowledge source such as that. And it's oftentimes not just one, right? You have the full TCN team backing you to help provide you an answer or support with whatever you need. So.
Well, yeah, there's two things to do. You've got your day-to-day operations. You've got your team that are standby at TCN and that you have a first name relationship with those individuals.
Right.
But you should ask your TCN team members to schedule every so often, every quarter or twice a year, you should schedule an overview of TCN's functions and features and services. Yeah. To understand if you are taking full advantage of the tools that are already integrated into your system and available for use. Yeah. Many times, we get caught up in the busyness of every day and what's happening, and we really do need to take some time for assessment and evaluation and to make it so that it just makes a big difference.
Oh, absolutely.
If you can find some specific initiatives, just like this white paper, it focused on one issue that people didn't even know they had. I think if this isn't the specific white paper, there was an application where representatives were taking 3 or 4 minutes on every call to type in a 10-digit phone number.
Wow.
And so, usually that should take about 15, 20 seconds to type in a 10-digit phone number and place the call.
If not less, yeah.
If not less. But, even giving them the benefit of the doubt that they were reviewing the account and making sure they had their talk track ready to go.
Yeah.
But something as simple as reviewing what the metrics are,
right,
and what's happening, and having a moment for having a consultative third party like TCN that's outside of your business to take a look at your metrics and just ask questions of things that look like they're anomalies or things that come up because they look at this stuff every day of all these other businesses is really going to benefit you and your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that your suggestion to meet regularly with your TCN account managers, team members. I think that TCN does a very good job of trying to provide resources for their customers to see how they can best utilize their products, whether it's that they're using things that they don't need, or whether it's finding new opportunities to better utilize something. They even have that user conference once a year where it's all just about learning how to optimize what you're using. So
yeah, absolutely. That is a fantastic investment for a couple reasons. One, you get personalized training for the job for the individuals that attend that meeting.
Yeah.
So if you feel like that can be a benefit, that's a great thing to sign up for, because they get in-person, not only the training, but they establish a connection of knowing just how many resources are available to them.
Yeah.
And so they can bring that back to you and give you a lot more options than you knew. You don't have to do that alone. Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, we're coming close on time here, so I just wanted to talk to you about one last bit here. You were quoted in this white paper as saying, TCN only succeeds if its clients succeed. How does this philosophy influence the support TCN provides to its clients, especially regarding identifying inefficiencies and saving money?
Well, it's just ingrained in our culture. It's ingrained in our people. It's ingrained in our product offerings. It's in the decision making that we do for strategically and into the future. It's everything that we do, because as a consumption-based model, we really have to help our clients succeed. If our clients are not succeeding, then they're going to stop using our products.
Yeah.
Or if they don't know about our products, case in point, we're talking about a lot of features that perhaps many of our clients are not utilizing.
Right.
Because they're not aware of the benefit and how that can affect their bottom line.
Yeah.
So we need to be doing things like this podcast, right?
Right.
To help our clients understand that there are more capabilities or resources available to them. And if we do that, our clients are going to be satisfied, and they're going to be able to perform their duties and get a better ROI for them as a business.
Right.
And then it's a reoccurring cycle of let's help you, help me, help you, help me.
Exactly.
Help you. And and we are just because if we don't, the alternative is that our clients are going to stop using our products, and that's not going to bode very well for us.
Right.
So that's really at the core of not only what you experience when you work with our staff, but the product line also, the product offerings that we offer as a platform.
Yeah.
We have to stay at the cutting edge. We have to look around the corner and see how the regulations are going to impact the industry and what we're going to do to help not necessarily counter those regulations, but counter the impact of negative impacts and be able to help people deal with things using technology.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we've seen the progress that has been made, especially recently with features such as TCN's business intelligence and workforce engagement solutions, and a lot of that's been built out, and there's been enhancements to our omni-channel and chatbot, and I think that you're spot on. TCN is saying trying to stay ahead of the technological advancement and make sure that they have all their clients' needs. So that's amazing, Dave. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming and talking with me today. It's been great to pick your brain a little bit and see what contact centers can do to improve and really just save themselves time and money and give their agents the best shot that they can to succeed. That's what it's kind of all about. And
absolutely.
if they succeed, contact center succeeds, and then TCN succeeds, right? So
yeah, we're all in this together. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for coming, Dave.
You bet.
Thank you for tuning in to TCN's CloudCast. We hope you gained valuable insights and perspectives on the ever-evolving world of contact center software. For more information or to download the white paper discussed in this episode, please visit tcn.com or click the link below. Don't forget to subscribe for future episodes as we continue to explore cutting-edge trends and innovations.